Today I'm going to be harvesting my kale seed. This kale overwintered in my garden. I'm in zone 5A, I believe, Ontario, Canada. And this is kale that overwintered and then immediately flowered and went to seed. And I've left this growing, and finally it's dried out enough that it's ready to be harvested. So I'm going to show you how I harvest kale seed. Okay, I'm back now. I've harvested my kale stems. I've just taken the shears and just cut them off. And I tried to be careful because when I touched one of these pods, it just burst open in my hand. So that's how I knew it was ready. So here's the pod, and here are the seeds. They're pretty small, not the smallest seeds I've seen, but they are not huge. So you have to be careful not to lose them. So here's the pod. This is half, and this is the other half. So I'm going to try and open one hand without it bursting everywhere. Okay, so here's one I just picked. So I just kind of squeeze it, and here you can see it's open kind of like a pea shell. And there are all the kale seeds. So I did leave this plant totally alone, actually. At first I was watering it because it had little... Sorry, I'm hearing the geese just landed in the river. It had little bits of kale leaf growing, so I thought, oh yay, it's totally overwintered and I'm gonna get new kale. And shortly after the leaves come out, it flowered. So I've just left it alone, and it flowered, and then these pods emerged, which I think is so cool because these pods weren't there when the flowers were there. And then I just left it alone to dry completely in the ground to make sure that the seeds are actually mature. And so here's the pod I split open. So here's this half, and then you can see there's a little paper layer dividing the two halves of the pod. So if you just open that up, take that off, the other half of the seeds will be in there. Hard to show you with one hand. And that's all there is to it. So I'm just going to sit here with my coffee in this beautiful morning and harvest my kale seeds. So here's how much I have done now. Here are my husks. And I've done this tiny little stick, and I have all these to go. But as I was doing this, I got a pod that had one seed in it. And I thought, how interesting that one seed could grow a plant like this. Actually, there's two here, but they're stuck together. There we go. So one seed can grow this whole plant. You can eat delicious kale from it, and then it goes to seed, and it produces this many seeds in return. So you have one seed, and it produces more than this in return. How incredible is that? I just wanted to pop in to show you this cool double pod. Usually they are on just one. They have just one pod on each little branch, but this branch had two. I thought, how cool is that? So here's how much seeds I have right now. Now obviously this is way too many for me. My local library has a seed library, and I got some arugula seeds from them, and actually my acorn squash seeds came from the seed library as well. So this year I want to make it a priority to give back to the library. So a lot of these seeds I'm gonna give away or donate to the library, and then I'll save some for myself for next year. Thanks for watching.